Athena at Gluten Freeology. Today I'm going to teach you how to make Hoppin John. It is a stew made with black-eyed peas, okra, bell pepper, onions, rice, and it's traditionally made with pork, but since I don't eat that, I made it with beef. And also the way that I know how to make it or how I've seen it made is with tomatoes. So I have tomatoes in mind, but a lot of the recipes that you see online don't have tomatoes, but that's not a step I would skip. But it's a really good stew that is traditional Southern cooking. And so this is how I made it. So I'm using dried black-eyed peas that I soaked overnight. As you can see, they double up in size. If you are able to find frozen black-eyed peas, that cuts the cooking time down a lot. You wouldn't need more than 30 minutes to cook a bag of frozen black-eyed peas. So if you can find them, do yourself a favor and just go that route instead. If you are part of the African diaspora like me, you probably spent a huge chunk of your childhood eating traditional foods made with rice and beans. Whether you're from West Africa, the Caribbean, the United States, Central or South America, the EU or the UK, you likely have your own version of soul food. My parents were born and raised in Middle Georgia, and they grew up on a diet of fried catfish, grits, cornbread, greens, and rice and beans. One of the first things I learned how to make was rice. So I learned how to make rice when I was about 12 years old. It's super simple and easy. 1 cup of rice cooked with 2 cups of water, salt, and butter. For this recipe, I swapped out the butter for a drizzle of oil. And I didn't grow up rinsing my rice, but I do it now. Make sure you get anything out of the rice that doesn't look right. I just put everything in the same pot. I don't boil the water first and then add the rice. I just mix everything together, put it on the stove, watch out for it so that it doesn't burn. And just like that, in about 20 minutes, you've got rice ready to enjoy. Now, the main flavor base for all Hoppin John recipes is onion, bell pepper, and garlic. Now, where you see the differences is whether or not people use collard greens or okra. So I've always had this with okra, so I don't put collards in mine. But if you hate okra and you prefer collard greens, then you can always go with what you prefer. Once you're satisfied with the texture of your beans, you can go ahead and add in your onions, bell pepper, garlic, and okra. You want their Hoppin John to have a soup-like consistency, so add extra water or broth as needed. If you don't want to make your own Creole seasoning, of course you can go buy some in the store. There's Slap Your Mama and Zatarain's, but of course you got to go easy because there's a lot of salt in that. As I mentioned earlier, traditional recipes call for pork, but I stopped eating it when I was a teen and I have not looked back. If you're vegan, you can make this recipe vegan by using vegan sausage and vegetable broth. Either way, it's gonna be absolutely delicious. So some people like to serve this dish with rice on the side, but I decided to mix the rice in because I didn't want to end up with a bunch of leftover rice. So thank you for watching. I hope you will try this recipe because this Hoppin John is absolutely delicious.